Good morning and welcome to Heskett Haven Farm. I am Debbie and it is July now, and so today it's a hot day outside. I've gotten into poison ivy, so I've got this stuff all over my face. Today I'm going to make some laundry soap. So I've been making my own laundry soap for probably 2 to 3 years now. I've tried different ones, and this recipe is one that I have found that I like it. It dissolves good into the water, into our wash water, rinses out well, leaves our clothes smelling nice, and so this is the one I've been using. So today I'm going to take you with me while I make this. It's a long process, so I'm going to show you bits and pieces as we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is in my and I've got a messy kitchen today. First thing I'm going to do is in my food processor I have 1 bar of Fells Naphtha soap. I've already opened the package, but Fells Naphtha, it's been around for years and years and years. And this is a 5-ounce bar, and I chopped it up and put it into my food processor, and I'm going to grate it up until it's a powder. So let's continue this. Yep, that looks good just like that. So it is a powder. It is dusty. So it turns into a pretty fine powder. And I don't know if you can see that. So, okay, so that is a 5-ounce bar. So actually I'm going to make half of my normal recipe because I only have 1 bar. And last time I made like 2 gallons, and it's lasted me months and months. So this time I'm not going to make that much because I only have 1 bar of Fells Naphtha soap. So so right now I'm going to prepare all my pans and things like that, get my water boiling, and I'll take you into the next step. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my my Fells Naphtha soap crumbs. Oh, I guess I need a rubber spatula. And I'm going to put that into a large stock pot. And I'm going to add, careful, 2 cups of boiling water to that. So then I'm going to use a wooden spoon or a spoon of some sort, and I'm going to stir it until it is all melted. So it's going to get thick, and it's going to be bubbly. It's going to be very bubbly. I think I'm going to have to use my whisk, my wire whisk, to break up those chunks in there so it melts faster. I'm just going to let that melt. Takes a few minutes to melt. And you see how foamy it's getting. Of course, it's soap, so it's going to bubble up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add another 2 cups of boiling water to this. And then we'll stir that in because it didn't quite all melt good, and so we're going to just do that. Add a couple more cups it didn't all dissolve. So then it really solided up while I was waiting for the water to boil again. Now I've got a total of 4 cups of water in here, which is 1 quart. This is going to make a gallon. So to this I'm going to add another 3 quarts of water once I completely finish. But the first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a half a cup of baking soda, which will help with odors in your clothes. It helps, get rid of those stinky clothes. And I'm going to add a half a cup of Super Wash Arm & Hammer Laundry Booster. Okay, so first thing I'm going to add is a half a cup of baking soda. And that will help with odors. So I'm going to pour that in here. Half a cup-ish. If I get a little more, that's fine. If I get, that's fine. Won't hurt. And then I'm going to add a half a cup of Laundry Booster to it. Also, Arm & Hammer Laundry Booster Super Washing Soda. And this one's kind of going to be chunky, I think. So we're going to break that up. And here's a half cup of that. So now I'm going to add that to my stock pot, and it is probably going to fizz up pretty big. So let's see what we get here. So I'm just going to pour that in and start mixing that up. So I get that all mixed up good. And you see it's kind of foaming up a little bit. I'm not sure which, if it's the baking soda or the laundry booster that does that, but it foams up pretty decent. Now I'm going to add I'm not going to add boiling water to it, but I'm going to add just hot tap water to it a little bit, and then I'm going to put it into my jars that I store it in. So I'm going to start adding a little bit of water at a time. I'm going to get a quart. Yeah, I can use it one of these. I'm going to add hot water first, right off the tap. It's not hot yet. Okay, now we're getting hot water. Okay, so this is another 2 quarts of hot water right from the tap that I'm just going to pour in there. And then we'll stir that up. Then I'm going to leave it settle for a little while before I start putting it in my jars. And then I'm going to fill it in my jars. And I'm going to even it out into my two jars, which makes 1 gallon. And then we'll just gradually add the rest of the water to fill them. But we got to wait for this foam to go down a little bit first. So we're just going to leave it sit now and go from there. Okay, so now I'm going to try to fill these jars without making too big of a mess. So here we go. Hopefully we don't make a mess. A little bit. Whoa. Oh. Told you I couldn't do that. You could probably see I ended up with 4 jars because it was just, I haven't added all the water that I needed to, but it is so thick right now that it's, oh man, it is everywhere. It's real thick. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start adding cold water to it. And then I'm going to stir it with probably a chopstick to stir it up. So I'm going to add 2 cups of water to each one to start with. And it's cold water. And then I'm going to stir them up, and then I'm going to leave them sit for a little bit. Again. Grab me a chopstick. Because the chopstick, I can stir all the way to the bottom of the jar and keep it kind of mixed up and broke up in there. So ever so often I'm just going to come back around and give it a stir from now probably till the end of the day before I can cap it off. And keep adding water to just kind of top it off as we go, as it cools and as the foam goes down. So then at this point, if you wanted to add essential oils or anything like that, you could, but the Fells Naphtha soap has such a clean, fresh smell that I typically don't add anything else to it because there's no need to. There we go. Leave it sit for a little while and then come back and I'll probably add a little more water to it and give it another stir. So this is what I decided to do. I decided to fill them up the rest of the way with water and then put the lids on. Instead of stirring them all day long, it's just going to be easier to just come along and shake it up every so often until they're cool. So once they're cool, then they won't separate as much, I don't think. So you see how the water separates to the bottom of the jar, and then I just shake it up. But every time I do laundry, every time I do a load of clothes, I have to shake the jar again. So it's always going to continue to separate. But until it's cold, we'll keep shaking it up just to kind of, you can kind of see the consistency. It's not thin by any means, but it's not super thick either. So yeah. And that's it. And then when I go to do laundry, I just use probably about, I fill up my soap dispenser that's in my machine. I fill that little cup up with soap, and that's all the soap I use in there. If I have a super dirty load, sometimes I'll add twice that much, but generally I don't. And our clothes seem to come out just fine. And they smell great, and they're pretty clean. So thank you for watching. Have a great summer, and as always, we'll see you on the next video.